Hello everybody, Princess Bear here, and we're back at Hollywood Studios because character dining and buffets are back at Hollywood and Vine.
Yep, so we're here. It's been a couple years, I think, since we've been here. We're about to get our spooky on.
Yep, with Mickey and friends.
So be sure to subscribe and have a happy Halloween.
You heard the bell. Hello, how are you today?
Thank you.
Hello.
A returning friend, the ultimate Long Island iced tea. You can find this drink in multiple locations around Disney World. I just wanted to go with something nice, light, easy, familiar friend as we're coming back to this familiar friend of ours. Very nice, sweet, delicious, beautiful. I really like this drink. I'm gonna enjoy sipping it slowly. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 Long Islands. Also, big thank you to the entire cast here, Chef Anthony, Dana the manager, our server, everybody that has been here has been wonderful.
Here we have the ultimate Long Island. I'm not sure what it makes ultimate. There's no cool design. It doesn't have wings. I think it has superpowers. Why are you calling it ultimate? Ultimate kick in the throat. Holy wow.
It's the gin, isn't it?
I feel like I just got slapped for being disrespectful in the drink. Whew. That's powerful. I don't know if you're gonna need more than one of these. Maybe you will. That's strong. But also really tasty. I don't get that imbalance you get with some Long Islands where the pores are off. That's a 4 out of 5 plus.
So we have a margarita here that Bear got. It's a little short for what you get, I think. But very tart. A little on the lime side to the tequila side, so I kind of, and maybe a little bit too much sweet and sour. But I'm not mad at it. It's just not my favorite margarita. I'm gonna give it like a 2.5 out of 5 marks.
I guess the real question is this margarita gonna make me feel like a celebrity? I'm a nobody, so this is not gonna make me feel like anyone. Except for wishing that I had more tequila in here and less sweet and sour. Wow, that's strong. That's almost like a cup of syrup and lime juice. It's a 2 out of 5 plus. Ugh. That's like a C-list celebrity. It's been a long day for you, looks like. You don't have a seat? You want to take a load off? That's the way.
What you gonna eat over there, Boo?
Made us some spiders. We've got lots of spiders on it.
Water.
No, nobody's eating spiders. I'm good. Right, we're not doing the spider thing. You put a spider on a plate, we're both leaving. We're both leaving.
I'm sorry. Alright, no spider pranks. I got it.
Happy Halloween! Here at Minnie's Halloween Dine at Hollywood and Vine, every day is Halloween, and our Disney friends are here to celebrate with you. Remember to stay seated as they come by, and have your cameras ready. Now it's time to pop your balloons and yell trick or treat, because it's Halloween tonight.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, it's all right.
And then the risotto is
So the risotto?
have some fresh romaine. They also had like mixed greens. The croutons are focaccia and vegan. And they also had cucumbers that were vegan, and obviously, and these whole tomatoes. And then this beautiful balsamic. I'm really excited for this. I really love the flavor of the balsamic. It's really good. And this focaccia crouton. The thing I love croutons because I love bread. But the thing I don't like about them is that they're super salty. And these ones are not salty at all. These ones are really good. They complement the salad really well. I'm probably gonna go back for more salad. I'm gonna give my salad overall a 4.5 out of 5 salads. It tosses my salad. And I can toss it myself.
So I love starting off going around the buffet is that most of the salad options here are vegan. I think the only thing up there wasn't vegan was the Caesar dressing, obviously, and then the cheese. And the ranch. But everything else up there as far as salad fixins, all vegan. They even switched out one of the dressings of the salad to a maple according to the chef. So that was vegan. So you have your run of the salads, and then every bread was vegan. So like that whole salad section is like already a vegan buffet. We haven't got to the rest of it yet. Also means that I don't have to get my own salad because Princess can eat it all now. But let's do this balsamic cucumbers, which is an odd choice for her. A little crouton. Baby crouton. I'm gonna leave it a tomato. If you eat any salad bar, it's always gonna be freshness. Nails it. Lettuce, cucumber, crouton sitting there, not soggy or like been sitting, not overly dry or overcooked or crusty. And then the dressing works. The balsamic has a nice punch to it without being overpowering, so you still get the flavors from the crouton and different veggies. That's above average. Give it 3 out of 5 plus.
It's so cute. Yes, I had it, back here in the back. I love the butterflies. They're super spooky. Yes, okay. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. How cute. Spooky and adorable. Oh, take a picture. So we have a hummus with a little bit of pita. I'm here for this. We always love a good hummus on this channel. Boma still, I think, is like the winning hummus place outside of like, what, Bengal barbecue? Wow. That's a tangy hummus. With a lot of tahini. Really thick, like super sesame tahini. I don't know. I kind of like Publix hummus better. For those of you that are not local, Publix is a grocery store. That's what I'm saying. Grocery store hummus is better than this. I'm just giving it 2 out of 5 hummus. It's not really my jam.
There was a nice piece of bread. It's a bit drier and harder than I expect most pita to be, but it's got a good texture to it. It's a preference, really. And a little bit of hummus. It's a standard, but we like to see hummus in more places. It feels like it either wasn't mixed well, or just way too much tahini. It like kills the hummus. All I taste is like sesame seed gel. It's 1.5 out of 5 plus. Bread's good though.
We have the most beautiful fluffy focaccia here. I suspect this beautiful piece of bread is what we use to make the croutons. The fluffiness and the springiness of this really reminds me of another place that we visited recently, the Boardwalk. Have you heard of it? The Boardwalk Bakery. Beautiful muffaletta there. This looks like the muffaletta bread. It tastes like it, but maybe it was like made. The bread at the Boardwalk Bakery tastes a lot more fresh, I think, than most other places. So I think I'm a little spoiled having been there recently. This one does taste like maybe it's store-bought, maybe not. But it just has that like it's been maybe it was made yesterday type thing. It's still really good, and I'm probably gonna go ham on it. I wish there was like earth balance because then that would just suck us off. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 breads.
We do have to champion the amount of focaccia we're getting now. Don't be wrong, dinner rolls are great, cornbread is great, but focaccia has potential. We got it at the Boardwalk Bakery, we had it at Via Napoli, more focaccia in more places. Ooh. That's peak bread. It's so soft and fluffy. But still those unique characteristics of focaccia bread. I mean, bread lover's paradise. 4 out of 5 plus.
Hello, bread roll, my old friend. We just went to Hollywood Brown Derby. This is the same roll from Hollywood Brown Derby. You can just tell. But they have earth balance. It's nice and hard. It's like a beautiful little sourdough. You can find this bread like all throughout Hollywood Studios, I feel.
I know. Don't themselves are quick.
It's a familiar tasting friend. I like it. It gives good bread. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 breads.
I'm telling you, if you made a buffet with just breads and dips, the princess would live there. Live. I don't know what I'd eat, but she would live there. I'd probably live outside. It's not hard to eat. It's just a crusty boy, and I've been in right on the ridge, trying to cut roots in my mouth. But it's good bread. It's a nice, crunchy outside, nice soft inside, so pretty warm. As far as rolls go, it's peak, and the Greek Princess doesn't remind me a lot of Hollywood Brown Derby. I give it 3 out of 5.
I decided to torture myself with olives because it was labeled and it was there. Eat these black olives because, you know, go plant-based. I keep trying, but it is so hard to like olives. It's just so salty, and the texture is weird. It reminds me of that appetizer we had at Topolino's, that like olive one. I mean, they're very nicely marinated olives. I just don't like olives. So for me, it's like a 1. If you like olives, I mean, you're gonna go ham on these. These are top tier olive, you know?
I really don't understand that Princess hated olives. They're just like a fancier pickle. Super condensed, salty flavor. That brine in there. Olives got a nice texture to it. I just did it all, but it's not gonna win any awards. It's not like a Spanish themed olive. It's not a story of olives like you get at like Topolino's, but it's good. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 plus.
This is a last minute addition to the menu. It is a vegetarian vegan chili. You got kidney beans, garbanzo beans, corn, carrots, all kind of goodness in here. I'm excited to eat this with Focaccia bread. Oh yeah. There's some beautiful southwestern seasoning here. Nice kick. Definitely been cooking well. I'm gonna go give me like probably thirds and fourths of this chili. This is really good. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 chilies. This is a chili I would aspire to make at home. I love the kick too. It's like the perfect burn. Like a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 10 on the easy scale.
Now, I know that I hated on this place in the past. It was all you care to enjoy style. That was the first time that we've been here. But seeing this come back and the care that the chefs put into making sure that they had a lot of modifiable and vegan options on the buffet, it's great. This chili, easy way to make chili without making it carnivore friendly, I guess I'd say. But it has all the fixes that you need. That southwestern smell coming from it. And we got the corn, the beans, got big chunks of carrot in here. Like, this is a chili for all intents and purposes. A nice cumin-based southwestern taste. It's not spicy at all, but it's got spice to it. Very well flavored and very enjoyable. I'll give that 4.5 cross. Even though it's hot, this is a good choice. Dapper Halloween is what it's giving me. That cake was the best. Love it.
Yeah, spiders. I told him and Goofy earlier that I was going to try and trick them with spiders. They were not into that at all. Goofy and him both were.
There's already too many spiders in here.
Yeah.
Bread, salad, what bread now, right? Fruit.
Nope, you're fine.
So, thanks to the princess, I got to skip over a lot of the things that would have normally filled me up before I got to the meat of the buffet. But there's a couple items I had to get before I went for the main courses. First up is this chicken noodle soup. Obviously, this is not vegan. It's a bunch of noodles. There is more broth. I just skimped on it. I wanted mainly to see how the chicken was and the carrots. It looks pretty hearty as far as chicken noodle soup goes. You got nice big noodles, nice big chunks of chicken. And there's a lot of chicken in there, like a little bit. There's a ton of chicken in that pot. As far as soups go, it doesn't even compare to the soup we get on the pizza. The chicken's good. The broth is kind of weak. The broth is like salt and pepper water. It doesn't really feel like the chicken is like soaked into it. There's a ton of seasoning in it. It's really just a weak chicken broth and chicken in it. It's doable. It's not a bad soup. It's just knowing that we've had better soups. Soup wouldn't be my first choice for a buffet anyway, but if you're feeling needing chicken noodle soup, you won't be disappointed by this. Just don't expect to remember this. I give it 3 out of 5. So here we have the, as advertised, the sour cream and chive mashed potato. Normally, I'm not too worried about mashed potatoes. I usually handle most. But when you put sour cream in the title, all of a sudden that's setting off feelers for my magic pills. They got nice colors. I use skin-on potatoes. You got some skin in here. A whole load of chives. I'm just wondering how much sour cream is actually in this. It's nice and thick. Holds with a spoon. Ooh, that's good. It's like the right amount of chive. Like I was worried it's going to be too much, but it's just enough for you to get the chive in the mashed potato, like in every bite. Skin on doesn't bother me. I like skin on mashed potatoes. You can taste a hint of sour cream, but it's not overpowering. I think it goes to make it like a nice side. If they make a vegan version of this, princess might be even lower. Hint of garlic in there too. These are top tier mashed potatoes, I'm not gonna lie. 4 out of 5 cross. Then last up on the shoulder salad angle of the buffet, I had peeled shrimp. And you know, as a bear, I'm not turning down seafood. Now you do have to shell it yourself. Not really a big deal for me. Peel don't take that long. Rip all the meaty parts off. Get a nice chilled shrimp. It's not raw, so it's cooked. No pinkness to it, but nicely chilled. And they had some cocktail sauce. Go ahead and partake in that. It's a decent shrimp cocktail. Now, for those of you that like lemon, they do have lemon up on the bar. I did get one in case I needed it. It's not very oceany. It's very mild tasting shrimp. So I think it'd be okay, but it doesn't do anything wrong peeling shrimp. That is a nice option to have at the end of the bar. You can even add it on top of your salad if you want to. Get that 3.5 out of 5 plus.
Aww. You're the cutest little dog ever. Love it. Thank you.
You going over here? He really is man's best friend.
So we have this mushroom risotto. This is a farro-based risotto. This is what we had the last time we were here, if I remember correctly. And this is, I believe, the risotto that I successfully avoided at Hollywood Brown Derby. Cheers. It's very creamy. It actually does very much remind me of the tomato risotto that we had at Hollywood Brown Derby, but it's not as tart. And I actually kind of like that more. Now I'm kind of sad I didn't try that mushroom risotto at Brown Derby. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 risottos. I'm actually really surprised at how much I love this, and I want to try Farro Risotto at home. That's such a genius idea, especially for something so creamy and good.
Fungus risotto. Princess hates mushrooms, so the fact that she likes this is a surprise to me. Now I love like the consistency that Farro gives it. It gives it a little bit more weight, a bit more texture. Ooh. That's soft. Holds together so well. Enough for risotto. I love the chew on the Farro. Even with the mushrooms in it, it's quite good. Flavorful and consistent. I know we were told when we walked in that this restaurant basically all new staff, only 4 people left in the kitchen from when it was over previous. But this new blood, I think it's bringing new life into the food because this tastes amazing. Look at that, 4.5 out of 5 plus. That's some top tier risotto.
Next we have this garlic seasoned broccolini. Now this wasn't labeled as vegan, but Chef told me that whole section with the risotto and the tofu is vegan. So this is vegan even though it's not labeled. The one thing about that broccolini that you can really taste is the garlic. It gives it a nice flavor. It soaked it up. It was in there for a long time. It was happy to have the garlic in the dish with it. And they make a beautiful couple together. I'm really into it. And it's a really nice take because usually when you get broccolini, it's either steamed or covered in oil, but having a garlic flavor to it is really nice. I think the only thing it's missing is the char, but that's just because I love char. It's fine, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 broccolinis.
If the vegetable looks like a tree, a bear is probably gonna eat it. Bear being me. Nice color to it, looks nicely roasted. It's a big chunk. I wish they were small. Broccolini are huge. I'm gonna eat this whole thing anyway. The carrot and that broccolini really shines through. The garlic has a nice flavor to it. Broccolini has a nice crunch. Oh, not like crispy, but like well cooked and a good bite to it. Doing broccolini good. Broccolini would not complain. You have represented broccolini well. 3 out of 5 plus.
Bear's favorite thing in the world, peas and onions. Onions and peas. Peas and onions, onions and peas. Maybe I got this to Troll Bear. I personally like peas. They're a very good source of protein. And I like mushy peas. The onion pearls are fat. I love it with like a little char on it. Beautiful. The peas are, you know, they just peas. Maybe they need a little bit more. I give like a 3 out of 5 peas.
I feel like we should have our own like storybook called Princess and the Pea and the Bear That Hates Them. I can stand peas when they're mixed in with something else. By themselves or unmushed. Oh, that texture combined with that flavor it sends chills of despair down my spine. Now as far as peas go, they cook fine. They taste fine. They taste like peas are supposed to taste. They're not undercooked, they're not overcooked, they're not dried out. As far as peas go, I would say they'd be a 2 out of 5. Coming from me, it's a 1 out of 5 clause. I didn't enjoy any part of that, but it was a heavy anti-pea bias on my part.
This is the new addition I am the most excited for. A nice little crispy tofu. Ooh, all these little tofus are stuck together. Okay, there's no way. Oh, they're super crispy and stuck together. That's for dang sure. Holy. I'm just gonna eat this one. All I gotta say is thank goodness that this is a buffet. Because if I ordered this as a singular dish and I had to share it with Bear, I would be mad. This is so good, and there's like a nice kick to it too. It's like a nice little light burn, but not too heavy. About a 3 out of 10 on the heat scale. Nice sweetness to it that goes throughout. You got veggies to pair with it too. This is my new favorite. I know I said I love the chili. This is my new favorite. Actually, I think I really love Hollywood and Vine now. This is a 5 out of 5. This is a Princessities item. If you don't come here for anything, come here for this.
It is crispy tofu with an Asian glaze. They say crisp, they're not kidding. Like trying to get this apart with a fork is basically impossible, or at least extremely tough. Got a nice coating all the way around, a nice crispy skin on the outside. Now when you say crispy and tofu, those are 2 hard things to marry together. You have to bread it really well. Crispy like this, honestly, I would have secret because I suck at breading tofu. The color, the carrots, you got some little snow peas with it. I might just eat all this and not save it even the princess. I haven't even tasted it yet. You're not just tossed in the sauce, the breading is really like soaked in that Asian glaze. It's a deep like Asian flavor with a little bit of spice, and not spicy, like on a heat scale, but full of the spices. I wouldn't even call it heat. If it was heat, it'd probably be like a 0.5 out of 10 on a heat scale for me. But that flavor, it's like a definite punch, and you still get the tofu texture. Like you're able to crisp on the outside of the breading, and still get the very tofu innards, which works very well. replacement. I like they did this with no all meat whatsoever. This tastes amazing. I am rather impressed. I would give it, if it had a little bit more heat, I think it would be a 5 out of 5 for me. As it stands, this is probably the first time I've given a rating like this, but it'd be 4.75 out of 5 plus. It's good. Shouldn't have to go get more.
Rude. Oh my gosh, you can't eat all of it. You.
And now trick or treat.
Here we have a nice oven roasted breasties. Now these are not plant-based. Assuming because they cook them in some sort of bacon grease or something else. There's no like cheese or anything else on them, but they are nicely roasted. A nice color into them, a nice little bit of char. Let's see how these breasties compare. Ooh. Nice crisp all the way through. I detect a hint of butter, which may be the reason they're not vegan. They're very good Brussels sprouts. Now they're no, let's say, Brussels sprouts, but they're good. Give it 3.5 out of 5 plus. This is the second form of potatoes on the buffet. They're just having oven roasted potato, like little fingerling potatoes with some chives. Nothing too fancy, but they come in a nice size. There's plenty of there for you to get. I actually appreciate the way they roasted them. They're not like roasted to the point of being like mushy. They still maintain that like potato texture. But being cooked all the way through. They're still soft on the inside, and you just see you got to biting into it. It's a whole new shape. It's a decent potato. 3 out of 5 plus. Next up we have the fish dish that's on the buffet. It's a salmon berry blanc. So like a wine cream sauce with salmon. Covered in the sauce. I got the minimal amount because there is some cream in here and I gotta be careful. But it's got a nice color to it. Got a nice skin on it before I destroyed it. So let's see how it tastes. Okay. No disrespect to any cast member we've ever spoken to. But this salmon, the deep salmon that I had at Hollywood Brown Derby, a lot of things. The salmon at Brown Derby I had, if you remember, if you watched that video, if not, go watch that, come back here. I liked it. It wasn't bad. The salmon was cooked well, the sauce was fine, but nothing meshed together. This all blends. The sauce and everything on it, a little bit of like tomatoes and things like that there. It's an amazing dish. That is very good salmon. I mean that 4 out of 5 plus. Last thing we have up on this was pot roast. Now I'm surprised, a lot of buffets, there tend to be a lot of the same food for character dining. You usually see like trimmed beef, and they do have that up there with chimichurri on the chopping block. But then you also have it like in the trays. So this is actually roast beef with carrots and potatoes in a sauce. You got all this mixed in here. I couldn't refuse. Now I can already tell it's well cooked pot roast because I need no knife. The fork, it just falls apart. I'm gonna get a nice big chunk of this juicy beef. That's family Thanksgiving level pot roast. Nice and juicy. You can gum it apart. Good for everybody. Good for the kids. Good for the grandparents. Good for the bear. I don't often speak well of beef. It gives good beef. Giving it 5 out of 5 pods. That's all my parents say. It's rare for a beef dish for me, but I think it's worth it. we have the oven roasted chicken. I just got a drum because, you know, drums are superior. Got a nice color to it, nice roast, like a rotisserie style. A lot of seasonings on the skin. We got like some chives and some other things on here. I'm excited for this one. Don't ruin chicken for me. It's good chicken. Well seasoned, juicy but not squirting all over the place, definitely not dry. The problem is, I like it, but it's probably the weakest of the meats I've tried up there so far. Not weak in a bad way. It's still well above average, but it happened to stand next to the fish and the pot roast. Makes it very hard for the chicken. As it is, give it 3.5 out of 5 raw. 3.5 out of 5 raws. You really can't go wrong with any of the meat dishes I've tried so far. Pick your favorite and just shout it. Scary.
I know, many are like giving me the vibes to go to Not So Scary. So we were being not gonna go, but now I feel like I need to wear this to Not So Scary. Thank you, Minnie, you're an inspiration. Yes, girl, yes. We have this couscous salad I forgot to get before. I don't know how I skipped this whole section of salad. Cheers. I love the consistency of the couscous, but there's far too many olives in it. You might as well just have an olive salad. I'm gonna go like a 3 out of 5 salads. Not my jam. Not my jam at all.
Yeah, for the princess, even 1 olive is too many. I count 1, 2. She's saying a lot of olives in here. Okay, 3. It's not that many. It's not many. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe it's like a mid-level of olives. There's some nicely seasoned couscous, some herbs in here. Got some peppers in here, some cucumbers. It's a salad. It's definitely a couscous salad. I should have expected cold, but for some reason I was not. Flavor's there. The olives are definitely front and center. They do sort of overpower the other veggies. They're there, like in the background. But maybe she's right. Maybe they could have stood a little bit less olives. I'm just gonna sort of let everything else shine through, but it's still a really good salad. And as far as the salads I've had, it might be my favorite so far. I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 plus.
Another wonderful use of beans here. I see some of the same ingredients they used in the chili. I'm just gonna try and like knife up a little bit more here. I love something that's filled with legumes. It does taste like the foundations of a really good chili. I like it cold. I could eat it hot. I could throw it in something. I could take it home with me and put it in a sandwich. It's pretty decent. It's good, like, protein-packed salad. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 beans.
Alright, so there's basically a bean salad. You have some corn, 2 different types of beans, some green peppers in here. It's a nice display. Let's see if it looks as good as it tastes. It tastes as good as it looks. That's done. Beans are well cooked. This is another cold salad. Corn, the peppers all work together. A very Southwest style flavoring. I'm not a fan of the cold beans. They don't really work for me. The flavors in it aren't bad. I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5 plus.
This one I'm really scared of. This is an apple cranberry kale salad. I don't like kale. It tastes like garnish to me. This is for the community because I am hellbent on trying everything vegan here. garnishy to me, but like there's some good seasoning to it. Well, like a lemon flavor to it. Plus the Granny Smith apple actually kind of helps with the sweetness and bring the kale like down some. I think this is actually probably one of the best kale dishes I've had because I actually swallowed it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 kales. That's really good. I don't think that Bear's gonna want to give me any bites of this because he loves kale. He's gonna love this.
So it's kale. Like I always say, if it's shaped like a tree, then it's meant for me. Or Bear. Kale and what is it? Cranberries? Dried cranberries? Well, it's a different one for me, but I do like fruit in my salad. I don't like salads that are hard to pick up though. That's kind of annoying. And get on my fork. There we go. Ooh. Yeah. So definitely the tang of the cranberry with the kale, it's like the irkiness you normally get in kale. They balance really well together. I think that is a very good and thoughtful combination. There's not a whole lot to it, but what's there is really good. 3.5 out of 5 plus. Let's go and get the pain out of the way. While I still have magic pill running through my veins, we have a shrimp and bacon mac and cheese. This thing doesn't stop with the mac and cheese. They're trying to get everything. Shrimp and bacon, it's like thick cut, like almost pork belly level of bacon. Like it's thick. Mixed in with like the very tiniest pieces of shrimp. But hey, it works. It's definitely not something I would have thought they would have had here. It's something more I think it's like a Handmade buffet. It's interesting. So I'm risking it for the biscuit, all for you guys. Mmm.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Going with thick cut bacon was a decision. A very good decision. Because you don't lose the bacon in the creaminess of the mac and cheese. It's its own very unique texture and flavor, along with the shrimp. That is a mac and cheese bite. That is one of those mac and cheese bites that I think rivals Hoopty Review. And I loved Hoopty Review's mac and cheese. This is a 4.5 out of 5 plus. It's not as creamy as some of the other mac and cheese, but it makes up for it with the additional flavor and texture. Here we have a creamy polenta and roast pork. Not what I would have thought the first use for polenta would have been, nor would I even consider mixing it with pork, but corn, pork, that's something that go together. It's a nice, decently cooked pork. It's not too thick. A nice covering of the polenta, a nice roast to it. You see like a little char on the edges. I'm excited for this one. Ooh. As pork chop level, it's a little bit on the dry side. It definitely needs the polenta to exist, otherwise it's far too dry. But it still packs the flavor. The char is nice and it adds a lot to sort of the creaminess of the polenta. The flavors mix well together. I think there's a theme. But they made very thoughtful choices in how they put this together. If you like pork chops, you'll probably like this. I'm not the hugest fan of it, but it is a very good option, I think. I'll give it 3 out of 5 points. Now we have an inspired style meatball. It is a barbecue meatball with pineapple. So you have like the Asian island flavors, you have the red peppers, huge chunks of pineapple, like bigger than the veggies, just as slippery, so more slippery, and a barbecue meatball, all stacked, all juicy like. I paired the pineapple well with the barbecue sauce, which does wonders for the meatball because the meatball is kind of really indistinct. It is literally a meatball, but doesn't really have like a flavor punch to it without the barbecue sauce and the pineapple together. Eating it all together is definitely the way to go. And I like this dish. I would like to see a better seasoned meatball. But other than that, it's still, I think, batting way above its weight class. I give it 3.5 out of 5 points.
Ready for it, friend?
Yes, sir, please.
Right here, right now.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy your meal and good day.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You like to try it? Pork belly.
Here we have is the carving station item. I was expecting some sort of like beef roast or like even like a pork loin or something like roast style. This is actually just a huge chunk of pork belly, which is why the serving size is so small. Now you can go back and get more, but they definitely have a nice like falling apart pork. Well, they're probably not even going to need this knife. But you see like the crust on the outside here, a nice like juicy fat right here, and then it comes with a side of guava barbecue sauce. Nice and thick. So let's, yeah, I don't need, this is useless. We don't need that. It just comes apart. Definitely well cooked. Go ahead and dip in the barbecue sauce here. I like me some pork belly. I should probably be eating less of it in my life. It's kind of hard to say no when it's sitting there carved right in front of you. Even before I get the flavor of the barbecue sauce, I get the pork belly first. The seasoning and the crust on now. It's a nice flavor profile with a nice crust to it. It's still like the pork belly falling apart in your mouth. The guava is good, but it might honestly almost be too much. Let me get a bite without the guava. That's enough. The way to go to me is without the guava. The guava is good. You like very sweet barbecue sauces, but it's very sweet, like almost syrupy sweet in the barbecue sauce, and it sort of like clashes with the savory of the pork belly. I definitely think it's better without, but still a good combination. I'd give the pork belly 3 out of 5 points. It's not the best pork belly I've had on property, but it's definitely not a bad time if you've never had it before.
This is one of 2 plant-based options available in the kids section. We got some green beans. They really just taste like green beans that anybody would eat, get at any Disney location, and there's nothing fabulous about them. They're not seasoned, so kids don't have to worry about too much salt, too much pepper, all that stuff. I give it like a 2.5 out of 5 green beans. It's green beanie.
Nice succulent green beans. Is that the right adjective? Is that the adjective I'm looking for? Succulent? Juicy? Robust? We always have a problem with adjectives on this channel. Doesn't matter. It's a green bean. You're a kid at heart. Don't be afraid to eat the kids' thing. It looks yummy. It gives me what I need in a green bean. It's not rubbery. It's not dry. It's decent enough green bean. 2.5 out of 5 points.
Good old-fashioned potato barrel. Reminds me of Woody's lunchbox. Tastes like Woody's lunchbox too. 3 out of 5 potatoes. It's a potato barrel.
I don't care what the patents and copyright say. This is a tater tot.
Gather together for fun for all.
Slightly salty, fried enough to crisp the outside, not enough to dry the inside. Kid foods go, you're doing nothing wrong. 2.5 out of 5 points.
And we have some apple apple fritter. I made sure to get like extra of the crispiness on top. I'm really excited for this. This looks so much better than the cherry pie that we had the last time that we were here. Cheers. It's still hot and sticky. It's got a beautiful crunch to it. Oh yeah, this is way better than that cherry pie. So, 4.5 out of 5 apples. This belongs at Storybook Dining, Artist Point. Snow White would be super into this.
American love this apple flavored desserts. With this apple fritter, definitely a thick baked apple, little crunchies on the top. Looks to be a little bit of cinnamon in here. I'm not a huge apple dessert fan, but I promise you guys more desserts, and I continue attempting to deliver that. Give me like that apple turnover filling sort of thing. I appreciate the crunch and the differentiation and textures. It's pretty good. 3.5 out of 5. First up, we have the seasonal bread pudding, which seems to be like the forgotten about dish in the corner, even though like there's a huge chunk missing from it. Bread pudding, it definitely is. It feels a bit more like dense than I'm used to seeing bread pudding. But you definitely got all the colors in here. We have some cranberry and raisins in here. Let's see how flavorful this is. Getting less bread pudding and more bread loaf, but it's still soft enough, the nice flavorful punch without being overly sweet. I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It is ripe for second helpings. Here we have the Mississippi Mud Pie. Now this is a beautiful dessert up there on the buffet. Nice curls of chocolate on the top, the whipped cream, the different layers. Not so pretty looking on the plate, but let's hope it's retained its flavor. Way too much whipped cream. That was my fault. It was definitely a Mississippi Mud Pie. Literally chocolate mud in your mouth. 3 out of 5 plus. And here we have a carrot cake cupcake with cream cheese icing, which is why I take another magic pill just for this. I'm obviously not eating a ton of the cream cheese icing I love, and it's in like an R2 like cupcake basket. It's nothing to do with Halloween, but it works. So there's like a little open liner to tear it out. So I definitely don't want to get all this cream cheese in my mouth. Take that as you will. Take a little bite here in the corner. Definitely a strong carrot cake flavor. It's like candy corn shavings on top. It's a bit of a mess, especially trying to get it out of this this wrapper here. You see, it's just basically falling apart at that point. But if you were going for a candy corn or carrot cake, mission accomplished. Not my favorite though. 2 out of 5. Cruising through the desserts. There is one dessert that I avoided on the buffet, and that was a cheesecake For obvious reasons, there's no amount of magic pills that will allow me to eat a cheesecake in public and even at home that would end this video, like right there. So, what I did get is they have this magic candy bar, which I was first afraid was a Rice Krispie treat, but it's actually not. It is like a candy bar of like different candies. There's Oreos in here. You got some Hershey's Kisses, some mini M&Ms. And what I'm thinking this top piece is coconut. I mean, it's probably about to hate life, but it seems interesting enough to try at the very least. Definitely coconut. It's like an Almond Joy candy bar with other candy mixed in. It's like an Almond Joy topped with mini M&M's, Hershey's Kisses, and Oreos. It's interesting, but you must love coconut to love this. I give it a 3 out of 5 balls. Got this peanut butter tart here. Nice mini tart with like a little glittered log. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like red glitter on top of like a little chocolate log on top. It doesn't get off peanut butter vibes, so I'm very curious what it's going to be like when I bite into this. Peanut butter and jelly. Even though the color doesn't give it off, top 50% is all peanut butter. Lower 50% is all like a very strong strawberry jam. Very interesting, but a good tart. Give it 3.5 out of 5 points. Hollywood and Vine. I take back literally every bad thing I've ever said about this place.
I 100% agree. It is so much better than it used to be. So tofu was my favorite, and then the chili was number 2, and then the apple crisp was number 3. So if you go there and you just get a salad, the tofu crisp, the soup, and the dessert,
it's a full meal.
It's totally worth the 60 bucks.
I think, and I know that a couple people get mad at me for saying this, especially some of the plant-based people in our community, the options here rival the number of options you get at Boma. There's a lot of food here. There's a lot of food here, and it's in the park.
I don't know if I necessarily agree
I'm
with
putting
that.
it out there. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Too late. I've already said it. It's out there. I think that Hollywood and Vine's coming out swinging, and that this is the bar that the other buffets in the parks. I'll give it that. In the parks have to aspire to. But the only other time we'd been here had been the All Care You Enjoy during the panty times.
You've been here once?
Yes. And
wow.
Also during Halloween. So, I definitely think this is a huge step up. Props to the chef and the team members. They are all excellent. The service was great.
They were amazing.
Talking to the chef, he explained everything very well to us. We will definitely come back here the second the menu changes.
It's another Chef Tony that we love.
It's another good chef.
I think
So,
so.
let us know what you guys think of seeing this video. If you would come here, plant-based or not. If there's anywhere else or any other buffets you'd like us to go to, it will take us time.
It will.
But we will get to them.
Reservations are hard sometimes.
So, if there's anywhere you'd like to see us go, that's also going to be a place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
we have new videos 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, well, I guess Bear might just eat himself into this water, which isn't very clean, so.
What Florida water's clean anyway?
Save his health.
You heard the girl.